Yeah, oh yeah. Oh,
Those are interesting.
Leave it over here.
Here we go.
We are Lee and Alicia Ducote.
I'm an author and novelist who likes to write romance and adventure.
And I am an outdoor adventuress who loves to drag Lee along with me.
Together, we travel all over the country and search for those off-the-beaten-path adventures that don't cost a fortune, with the hope to inspire others to get out and find their own adventure.
So gear up, grab your backpack, and come go with us as we search for that next crazy adventure.
And maybe find a little romance along the way.
Lee and I love living in the South. We have it all down here. We have sugar white sandy beaches, gorgeous farmlands, and even mountains. One of my favorite mountain ranges is the Ozark Mountains. It is in northern Arkansas and southern Missouri, and the history, the beauty, the culture, it really is a place that you need to go see. And we know that because we lived there for about 8 years. One of my very favorite things to do is called spelunking. It's exploring caves and really getting off the beaten path.
So right now we are driving from Jasper, Arkansas to Pompano, is that right? Pompano, Ponca, Arkansas. Headed to a trail that we did last year. It was a lot of fun, beautiful trail, and just kind of wanted to show it to you guys as well.
So we were here camping and we decided to do a little exploring, and we came here to Lost Valley because we heard there was a great waterfall here. Well, we went down this long trail, we get to this cave, and well, the waterfall's inside the cave. It's called Eden Falls. And somebody, I won't say who, wouldn't go through the pretty narrow crawl space to get back to the waterfall, so I had to go by myself.
We were carrying gear, and somebody had to stay out and guard the gear.
It was like a bottle of water. It was
Needed guarding.
So we're back today to see if I can get Lee back there to see the waterfall.
The waterfalls in Lost Valley run best after a rain, but even in the drier summer months, the trail is beautiful and definitely merits the 2 hours it takes to complete the hike.
There it is, honey. We're in the cave. We're gonna go back through there, through a crawl space, into an underground waterfall. Very excited.
Oh boy, I get to crawl underneath a rock.
There is only one way in and one way out, so getting lost isn't going to happen. Just pay attention to loose rocks and sharp edges.
These rocks are just razor sharp. He could hit his head on those and cause bleeding or a hematoma or even death.
This is where I stopped last time, and I am forging forward.
You have to get on your hands and knees and crawl a little bit, but that's just part of the adventure.
Ooh! Where's your plank challenge now?
This is crazy.
You know those crab walks they make you do in sports? They really do come in handy. Those are life skills. Algebra, not so much.
Wow. I haven't stopped sweating from the hike in.
You gotta stop and smell the roses every once in a while.
I'm not gonna tell her, but I crop dusted her.
Once you're in the waterfall room, turn off all your lights and try giving your eyes time to adjust to the pitch black darkness. The sounds of the waterfall echoing throughout the cavern gives a stereo ambiance to the experience. Normally, there are bats that hang above the waterfall room, and occasionally in lower parts of the cave. Once Lee had completed his Peter Pan photo, we started our climb back out, pulling ourselves under the rocks that we had passed by on our way in. If you have claustrophobia, this might not be for you.
Now, would you do it in the pitch black dark?
Nope. Things could change, things could shift, the big one could hit. If you are ever in this area around the Buffalo River, come check out Lost Valley. It is a beautiful hike, great exploring, and it is one heck of an adventure here.
It really is. It's one of my favorite places.
And it's affordable. Why?
It's free.
It's free.
After spending several hours hiking and exploring Lost Valley, Lee built up a hangry attitude, so I directed him to a little gym in the Ozarks, the Low Gap Cafe. Opened in 2006, Nick and Marie Bettini moved from California to Arkansas after falling in love with the natural state. Nick studied at the Culinary Institute of America in New York City and has cooked at many different events, including Liberace's birthday bash in Lake Tahoe.
Powdered sugar and turkey and ham, and who thinks of these things?
Hand-seared duck, blackened red snapper, and lobster fricassee are just a few of the items that are on the menu. Wrapping up our incredible lunch, Nick stopped by the table to visit. It gave me the opportunity to ask the 20 questions that had developed while eating one of the best Monte Cristos I'd ever had. And when we asked Nick what the future held for Low Gap Cafe, his response came with a chuckle, saying that it's getting bigger and bigger and he's going to have to expand. So with a full stomach and Lee's hangry settling down, we headed to the next part of our adventure. Cosmic Cavern is in Berryville, Arkansas, and it is considered one of the state's most beautiful natural attractions.
You gotta watch out for this door. It's sharp, because it'll do that to you. Now, I'd love to tell you that I was attacked by a bear in the cave. I'd love to tell you that I took a 20-foot stumble in a cave, but no. What happens? Freaking door gets me. So, but we're here at Cosmic Caverns. We're ready to do some outstanding spelunking. We've got 3 guides taking us down. We're going to part of the caves that they haven't been in, or they don't take people in.
Yeah.
This is what the adventure is all about. Let's go.
The cavern is a must-see destination and is easy to find between Eureka Springs, Arkansas and Branson, Missouri. Cosmic Cavern is Arkansas's largest privately owned show cave. The cavern was discovered in 1845 and is one of the warmest caves in the Ozarks, at a comfortable 64 degrees.
Thing about helmets, I don't have to worry about my hair.
All right, here we go.
The cave features a 9-foot soda straw, beautiful rock features, and 2 bottomless lakes. One of the lakes was discovered in 1993 in the Silent Splendor section, which made national news.
Here's we're starting to get into pretty stuff. That's a 60-mile-long fault line, and it runs 30 miles each way. Outside of the Ural Mountains of Russia, we are the oldest mountains in the world, and they're not technically mountains, they're a plateau that's eroded. And then there was an uplift, and that's part of the uplift. We'll get further back in here and start seeing the water. This is where the bottom of the world drops off back here.
Doug brought the snake grabbers.
Always got to be prepared.
We were fortunate enough to have the owner take us on our tour. I was just a little concerned when he brought 2 rescue personnel along with him.
It's about 60 foot right there, and just keep down. Of course, the water's super low now. The water's usually way up here.
You can tell where
Yeah,
the levels
lead.
usually are.
Yeah, ever since the neighbor's septic tank broke, it's been
Oh, yeah. So Randy's 68 years old. He's hopping around here like he's 18 years old. And right now, he is swinging from a rope.
I love it.
Of course I'm going to follow suit and swing from a rope 30 feet above one of the bottomless lakes. Cosmic Cavern is so pristine and untouched that many of the beautiful formations are transparent.
Oh, you've heard of stalactites and stalagmites? Yeah. This is a stalactite. That's what we use for putting dynamite, ramming it in the holes further back. Little caveman rock music.
Are we far enough down for Hell's Bells?
Check the acoustics out too. You come down here and you can do you get the right bass voice, you can, the acoustics in here. You don't have to yell at anybody, it just reverberates.
Oak Ridge boys.
Oak Ridge boys. Sounds like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Get up here.
We're going over that.
Yeah, if you want to get up here, you can slide down. You can put one foot on that little stalagmite right there.
Remember me mentioning the rescue personnel? Well, I didn't think we were actually going to use them.
It's just incredible.
That's a backdrop.
Yeah.
I've got a picture of it upstairs of me standing in front of it. And
Picture.
This is cool.
yeah, oh yeah.
Those are interesting.
I got him. I got him. Holy bleep.
Those little,
You didn't get that on video though.
Only by a miracle that Lee was standing beside Randy and that our cameraman was able to grab Lee to keep them both from sliding over. The unscripted things that happened to Lee Ducote. And it didn't faze Randy. He never stopped explaining formations or the history of the cave. This is one tough man.
Wow.
We made it.
Doug, you stayed clean the whole time.
The next morning, Lee took us to the Ozark Cafe in Jasper, Arkansas, which is one of the oldest restaurants in the state. It is rich in history of the people who have eaten here. And of course, the tall tales that are told by some of the old-timers is a must. We sat down and had breakfast with Russ and Jerry. They are the 14th owner of the restaurant that has been serving the Jasper area since 1909, making it the second oldest restaurant in Arkansas. It is listed on the National Register of Historic Places and has been visited by people all over the world, including Elvis Presley. It's hard to wrap up adventures like these after you meet great people like Russ and Jerry, Nick Bottini, and Randy and all his crew.
We love exploring the South. From the sugar white beaches to the Ozark Mountains, we've been in some pretty muddy water and some very crystal clear water. But spelunking, it was definitely an adventure that you should put on your list. Be safe, never spelunk alone, never go in an unexplored area by yourself.
No.
Always have friends with you and proper lighting and safety equipment.
But one thing about this show, and I don't mean to go unscripted or anything, but one thing about this show is that we are trying to encourage people to be adventurous together. If you're married, take your spouse out, leave your cell phone. If you're dating, still leave your cell phone. If you're single, find that person, leave your cell phone, and go out and be adventurous. I guess my whole thing is that we as humans are built for relationships. Whether it's a spiritual belief or whether it's scientific proof, that humans are built for relationships. And that's the whole point of the show, is just get out, you know, and enjoy each other. I kind of believe that if marriages are struggling, to get out and go do these things, you kind of forget what's bothering you or what you're fighting about. And, you know, I'm sorry, I don't mean to go off on all of that tangent.
That's all right. Remember, get out, be adventurous, and you will find a little romance along the way.
Absolutely. And maybe if Sunday mornings you'll find me behind the pulpit preaching it. They don't let me in church anymore.
We'll see you next time.